Okay, welcome to day 3 in this 30 days of quick and easy tips that you can apply very simply into your training program from me, Benjamin Benetti, aka 100 NMAN. So today I want to talk about low confidence and knowing versus known. Now, I would probably say that a good 30% of the people that come to me on the in private tuition, private coaching, talk about confidence being one of the factors that they have either very little of or it has been knocked at some point in the past. Now, there's so many different things going on there, and without digging too deep, I can certainly highlight or identify some of the issues. Now, for me, for those people or those athletes starting out, what I'd like to do is increase the known, because there is a big difference between knowing versus known. So the more known that you have, basically you have the ability to communicate better with self. And we all know what it's like. If you have a good understanding about the manufacturing of teacups, and the only reason I mention that is because there's a teacup in front of me. If you've got a good understanding about the manufacturing in teacups and you go into a social environment where there is a teacup manufacturing CEO, the likelihood is that you can communicate and have confidence within that communication. And the reason behind that is because you have the known. Now, the more knowns that you have, the easier it is to communicate with the outside world. And when I mean the communication with the outside world, I mean your delivery. Now, in the NLP world, they say that 55% of the way that we communicate with others is through physiology. Obviously, if you're in sport, generally a lot of sports are physically based. So it's essential that you build upon that understanding that the more knowns that you have in a given environment and over self, the more confidence that you will have in your given activity, in your given sport, your given execution. If you go into an environment with limited knowns, then you will have limited knowing, and therefore your confidence will not be as good. You can have the belief that you're confident, but in truth, there's going to be some misalignment there. I'm not a great believer in the attitude of faking it until you make it, because again, you'll see some incongruencies in the delivery, in the relationship you have with whatever it is. So for me, if you're experiencing low confidence in anything that you do, it's important for you to build the relationship. Relationship for me, again, is about communication. That's something that I'm going to be talking about later in the series. But to increase confidence, if you're from starting or from even operating at a high level, just increase your known. Increase the known that you have over the given activity and allow yourself to communicate in terms of a relationship, not only with self, but with the outside world in a way that is congruent with a better understanding. Now, if you're in a sport and activity and you're questioning your own ability, then what I want you to do, certainly over the next 10 days, is have a better understanding of self. If that means going and grabbing from the library or ordering on Amazon a book on physiology, on biology, or whatever it may be, I want you to understand or make the commitment right now to understand yourself a little bit better, the way that your body is functioning. The more that you can have known over your body, the more that you're going to be able to utilize the natural knowing, the natural confidence that comes in knowing that. If you don't know how your body operates, then how can you deliver a performance based on physical strength or physical performance? So increase your known over yourself, most importantly. And I mentioned it in one of the previous videos. When I did one of my last events, I took it relatively seriously and understanding what was working internally. We can't judge how our body is acting or healthy we are based on the physical appearance. Some of the best looking, healthiest looking people that I know actually probably perhaps do not have the internal strength, the internal knowledge, the internal health that their body or the external frame of their body produces. So what I'm going to invite you to do, as I said, over the next 10 days is to increase the known that you have over self, increase confidence by increasing your knowledge of the outside world, and most importantly, the internal world. Understands what's going on internally. So that can mean taking or having a blood test to understand how and what is happening at the moment internally with you. You can have the urinology test to make sure you get a qualified person to interpret the data for you. That is absolutely key. Don't utilize the internet or online medical forums to self-diagnose, but go and understand what is happening internally with you. Have a better understanding of self, better understanding of known, have a better understanding of the outside world. And what you'll find is your communication levels, your confidence levels will increase. That is probably one of the quickest way to increase confidence. Confidence also comes with situational experiences as well. So if you're trying to increase confidence incredibly quickly, then increase the amount of known you have in situations. I get it time and time again, athletes coming to me asking how they can increase confidence, and I ask how many events they've completed in, and this happened recently within a CrossFit community, that they hadn't competed in one event but were wanting to have the confidence and self-belief of someone that's or has been in multiple and competed at the CrossFit Games. Now, my answer to that is we can increase your confidence based on known, but in truth, you need to put yourself in those situations, those environments where you're going to learn true and factual external learnings in which you can take on board, in which you can utilize the feedback given and then adjust your training strategy based around those learnings. So, tip 1, have a better understanding of self, known, what's happening internally, not just externally, and your vision of the outside world. So increase your known over that. Increase your known over the specifics of your sport or your activities. If you're in the business world and listening to this, increase the understanding of what happens in all of the working machines of what you're doing. Again, you don't have to be an expert in marketing. You don't have to be a nutritionist in order to benefit from the knowns and the understanding. What it does do is increase your ability to communicate to self and the outside world, and therefore increase confidence. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you want to hear more of, and follow us on social media. Head over to 100mman where you can find all of the links, tools, and strategies.